Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm Taylor and I post motherhood, lifestyle, cooking and cleaning videos every Saturday. So if you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe. Today I'm going to share with you guys how I prep my ingredients to make weeknight dinners so much faster and so much easier. My fiance works evenings during the week, and so I was trying to make dinner every night with a toddler climbing my leg, wanting my attention, and I just thought to myself, there has to be an easier way to do this. So I have now started prepping my ingredients at the beginning of the week, and now my dinners take no time to throw together. I can quickly rush into the kitchen and get dinner out in no time. By prepping my ingredients, I just find it saves me from reaching for the super easy skillet meals that they have that aren't the healthiest. So I'm gonna show you guys 5 meal ideas that are healthy and they are so quick and easy when you have all your ingredients already prepped. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoy the video. So the first thing I'm going to do is pre-chop my veggies. And I am so guilty of chopping half an onion and just throwing the other half into the fridge unchopped. And we already have a cutting board out, we already have a dirty knife, we're already crying from the onion. Why not just chop the whole thing? I think what lots of us forget is that vegetables do last chopped up in the fridge for like at least 5 days. Mine last. Onions I can even push to a week depending how fresh they were. And so if while we have the cutting board out the first time, we just chop up all of our vegetables for the whole week, it saves us having to take out a cutting board before every single meal. I also find that this is the best way to include more vegetables in your diet. When the vegetables are just chopped and ready to go, I always find that I am putting more into each meal, and I use these for breakfast and lunch during the week as well. If I'm making up like an egg scramble and I already have peppers and onions and mushrooms chopped, then I end up just throwing them in, whereas if I was going to have to chop them in the morning, I probably wouldn't do it. So I really find that just doing this at the beginning of the week, getting it over with, and having them for the whole week is the best way to go. And even the green onions chopped, I find last at least 5 days in the fridge. And here's another little hack: when you're doing green onions or herbs or anything like that, chop them with kitchen scissors. It's so much faster. And so the next thing I prep are these little garlic oil cubes, and these go in the freezer, so you definitely don't have to do these every week. You can just make a huge batch and then keep them in the freezer. And so I don't know about you guys, but I love fresh garlic and fresh ginger for my dishes, but I absolutely hate chopping them. And so what I do is just chop a huge batch of both of them. You can also use herbs in this as well. And then into an ice cube tray, I just scoop out about how much garlic I would usually put into the pan with my dish. So here I'm doing about probably 2 garlic cloves per little cube. And then I'm going to add the ginger to half of them because I don't like ginger in everything that I make, like pasta dishes and stuff. I don't like to put ginger in. And so then I'll just scoop this ginger into 4 of the little cubes here. And like I said, this is a perfect way to use herbs and things that you have in the fridge as well. They freeze great. And then all that you have to do is top it with some oil. And I'd say just as much oil that you would usually put in the pan. I'm using avocado oil and I'm putting in about a tablespoon probably per cube. But olive oil works for this as well. So here are all of my veggies ready to go into the fridge. So mushrooms, I like to put a piece of paper towel under them to keep them really dry. But peppers, green onions, and onions can just have a little piece of dry paper towel on top. And carrots tend to dry out, so I put a piece of damp paper towel on top of them. And then my cubes just go right into the freezer. And my asparagus, I just put a little bit of water in a mug, and those will keep for a long time as well. So another thing I like to do is batch cook my protein. And I don't do this all in one day or anything. I just try at the beginning of the week to do a sheet pan meal. And we only eat 2 chicken breasts for a dinner. So 2 of these we ate with carrots and asparagus, and 2 of them I put into the fridge to have in a pasta later in the week. And so this is the pasta I'm making. So it's just a garlic oil cube. And then I have all my pre-chopped veggies. I didn't have to chop anything. And I just cooked those down until they soften. And then my already cooked chicken I just threw in and warmed that up. And then I added in a can of diced tomatoes. And I just cooked this as long as the pasta cooked. So this was literally ready in about 10 minutes. And I also just added some herbs. I added some salt, pepper, basil, and oregano. And then once the pasta was al dente, I added that in. And I also added in some cream cheese to make it creamy. And this was such a delicious pasta. And I topped this with some feta cheese and some of the green onions that I had chopped earlier in the week. And this was so yummy and so much healthier than any of those skillet meals you can buy. So another meal I did this week was a stir fry, and I had all my vegetables ready to go as well as my little garlic and ginger cube. And so all I had to do was melt down that garlic and ginger cube, and then I added in all of my chopped veggies, and I just cooked those until they started to soften. And then I had some shrimp thawing under cold water in the sink, so I added those, and these only had to cook for a few minutes. So I was just removing some here for my daughter because I was going to be adding in some sriracha. And so I just make my own little sauce with some low sodium soy sauce, as well as some sriracha and some honey. And if you think about that garlic, ginger, soy sauce, sriracha, and honey, it was such a delicious sauce, and it's so much healthier than any of those store-bought teriyakis you can buy. And I served this with quick cooking brown rice, and so this was ready in under 15 minutes. So again, with some ground beef, or you could easily use ground chicken, I cooked a large portion, and then we were having half of it for dinner this night, and I put half of it in the fridge for later in the week. And so we were making taco salads this night, so I added salt, pepper, garlic and onion powder, cumin, and chili powder, and I just stirred that up and then put the other half of the beef into the fridge. And for our taco salads, I just had lettuce, and then I did some of the chopped vegetables that I already had, and then this beef, and I served it with salsa and sour cream, and this was so delicious and easy. And then this last dinner I'm showing you is the easiest of all. So I just had that leftover ground beef, and then this was the very last night of the week, so I'm just using all the leftover veggies that I had. And then I'm putting in some garlic powder and my favorite store-bought marinara sauce. And then I added salt and pepper and gave it a really good mix. And then I had chopped a spaghetti squash in half and removed the seeds. And this cooked on low for about 7 hours. And then all you have to do is pull out the spaghetti squash and get that ready. And sometimes we pop a piece of toast into the toaster and have it with some garlic bread. But this night we didn't even bother. This was the most simple dinner, and it was super healthy and so delicious. And then we just like to eat this right out of the spaghetti squash, and I just topped mine with some Parmesan cheese and parsley. I I hope you guys enjoyed the video and thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. Anyways, I'll see you guys next week. Bye.